Warning: Tsukihime is an adult visual novel with themes and depictions of sex, sexual violence, gore, and abuse. Warnings will be placed before any of these pop up in the video. Just be advised that these themes are in this story. Hello, and welcome back to Tsukihime. Last we left them, Arcuit and Shiki agreed to work together again to defeat the true serial killer, who is still loose somewhere in the city. We also learned that Ciel is actually an agent of the church, and is also searching for the vampire. We concluded with Shiki unable to understand his feelings for Ciel and Arcuit, and today we begin Chapter 7, Bow in the Sky, Part 2. I'm watching a dream. A vague dream without any particular significance. Do I like her? I don't know my true feelings, but I can't deny the reality that I'm always concerned about her. Do I like her? I don't know. It's just that when I completely lost within myself, she helped me. If she wasn't there, I may have just died under the pouring rain. I don't know. That's why I have to ask. Why is she doing this? Why her eyes are so devoid of any emotion? Shiki-sama. I can hear Hisui's voice mingling with the morning light. Shiki-sama, it is time. Please wake up. Her inflectionless voice awakens me. Uh-oh, did we not put our glasses on? Shiki awakens with the lines of death in his view. He puts on his glasses as a strong headache increases, but his noticeable pain brings Hisui to ask if he's alright. He thanks Hisui for waking him up, and he notes the time is 6:50. Though he says he'll be down for breakfast, Hisui actually says Akiha has more questions for him, as she noticed him leaving last night. Shiki thought no one knew, and Hisui thought she was the only one that did. Shiki then asks if it was her who left the front door unlocked, and she says it was. Though, because she left it open, Kohaku found out about it when they switched night shifts. She apologizes, but Shiki thanks her for keeping it open. After looking at him silently for a moment, she only reiterates that Akiha is waiting in the sitting room, and leaves. Though he knows he's about to get chewed out, he also can't stop thinking about Ciel and finding out more about last night. This brings back a painful headache, which he tries to bear with while reminiscing about his poor health and the accident 8 years ago. The doctor said it was a miracle just surviving it. Just being able to live is a miracle, so putting up with various pains is perhaps necessary. These broken eyes, Sensei, who was able to alleviate these eyes, told me to treat that miracle very importantly. Those words. Did she mean that human life is not so much precious as it is not returnable, so I should treat it carefully? These past few days, I've seen the deaths of many people. Too easily. Lives ending so easily, it's almost comical. If it is something that ends so easily, doesn't it mean that it was only worth that much from the beginning? If that's the case, it is meaningless to view life as precious. Huh? Why, since when did you start thinking like that? The headache finally stops. Maybe I saw too much blood. What a horrible thought. I take a deep breath. Filling my lungs with fresh air, I clear away the unpleasantness. I should hurry up and go to school. I should go and see Ciel-senpai. And during the slight pain lingering in my head, I leave my room. Oh, are we just not going to see Akiha? We're just going to leave? We actually get a choice. We can either go to the sitting room, or we can bolt for school. Since I want to know more about Ciel, I decide to go to school, but Hisui stops Shiki before he can leave. Shiki-sama? Hisui comes from the sitting room. She must have come to check on me since I did not show up after a while. Sorry, I'm going to school. Please tell Akiha I'm sorry. Please, wait, Shiki-sama. You do not look well. Are you sure you are feeling well? I'm fine, it's just a little headache. Well, I'm off. Sorry, I'm being selfish again. I say something really selfish and open the door before she can respond. Shiki dashes for school, arriving before 7:30. He waits for Ciel by the gate, but she doesn't show up as the school day gets closer. He starts negatively thinking she won't appear, but 5 minutes before the start of class, someone reaches for him. And then, someone pats me on the shoulder from behind. Oh, she's here! Tono-kun, what are you doing here? Senpai! Yes. Senpai nods. Really? But yesterday, you were... Before I could finish, Senpai puts her hand over my mouth. Tono-kun, not here. Let's go behind the gymnasium. Senpai gives her usual smile as she keeps her hand over my mouth and pulls my arm. Hey! I try to tell her to stop, but I can't speak. She forcefully pulls me away. Forcefully. As the school bell rings, they go behind the gymnasium. She knows that Shiki has questions about last night and tells him to ask what he wants. Her casual nature has Shiki a bit upset given how important this is for him, but despite this, he bluntly asks for clarification that it was her last night. She says yes, and there'd be no way to hide it since she called out to him. Shiki then says she was also the one who saved him 3 days ago, despite her saying it wasn't. She says it was, and she promptly says that she was lying. She fires back, however, saying that Shiki promised not to go out at night, and that she asked him not to avoid this from happening. Shiki responds about his need to confirm the culprit of the serial killings, and explains his side of last night. Now understanding Arcuid and Shiki's partnership to stop the city's vampire, she then asks how much Arcuid has told him about the vampire in the city. After only giving the basics he's understood, Ciel says she'll explain it to him. Shiki's shocked that she knows so much, with Ciel reminding him that she is a member of the church, so she has to. Shiki laughs off his stupidity, while Ciel is frustrated for trying to keep the conversation somewhat serious. Shiki asks if she should be telling him all this, since it's supposed to be a secret, and she gives a simple answer. I nod in assent. Huh? But isn't that a secret? Arcuid, she said you were all incredibly secretive. Yes, it really isn't something to talk about, but today is special. There isn't anyone watching over us or anything, so as long as you don't tell anyone, then it'll be okay. What will happen if I tell someone else about you, Senpai? Yes, I'll do exactly what you are thinking of, Tono-kun. Senpai gives the frightening response with a smile. Well then, I'll keep it very simple. Tono-kun, how much was explained to you about vampires? Just about how there are 2 types, and how dead apostles are the vampires that suck human blood. But I think I know what kind of monsters they are. Ciel agrees with his knowledge, noting that he's even killed one already. Shiki realizes that she was there when he killed Nero. She assumes that Arcuid made Shiki use something called a conceptual weapon, and is upset at her for making him use it. She's also angry at Shiki, however, for even going up against Nero in the first place. Since neither Shiki nor us know what a conceptual weapon is, and since we know that it is Shiki's eyes that allow him to fight vampires, he asks her what those are. She explains that normal weapons are not able to wound vampires fast enough to do damage. A vampire's ability to regenerate is not like healing wounds, but rather bringing the affected part back to a moment in time before the injury, thus healing it. A conceptual weapon nullifies this healing factor so that one can truly fight a vampire. However, despite mention of these weapons, Ciel says they aren't used too often. In short, a magic weapon. We usually lift their curse looking into their human past, so we do not usually use them. But for those who are not originally human, we use them kind of like a secret weapon. Your knife, is it not an empty vampire weapon she brought? Or is it a family treasure? It would be strange for the Tono family to possess an anti-demon weapon. Senpai ponders aloud. I don't know what she's thinking, but it seems she has no idea about my eyes. Senpai, where did our conversation about vampires go? With a start, Senpai stops mumbling to herself. She smiles as if to hide her embarrassment. As usual, her personality is hard to understand. Ciel moves on to her and Arcuid's current target in this city. It turns out that they are both hunting the Serpent, who we've heard of in passing and at the ends of chapters 4 and 6. He is a special vampire, similar to Chaos. The Serpent is not as strong as Nero, but is much harder to take out, since he is able to come back to life after dying. Usually when a vampire loses its body and soul, it dies. However, the Serpent found a way to make a form of reincarnation for himself, so that when he is killed, he comes back to life. He picks a new host before he dies, an unborn child to reincarnate as, and has all of his information transmitted in it before the child is born. When they reach maturity, all of the Serpent's data will turn the child into the Serpent, vampire and all. Being able to kill the Serpent then becomes a lot trickier when he is able to keep popping up again and again after he's killed. Taking this all in, Shiki accepts that it's something further than immortality. Ciel explains that the Serpent first became a dead apostle around 800 years ago, and that he's reincarnated 17 times. His killer has always been Arcuid.
He is killed by her, reincarnates, and is killed by her again. That cycle has repeated itself over and over. If Arcuit had the power to kill not the body but the meaning, this probably would not be happening. Senpai looks down a little and she seems to be gritting her teeth. I don't know why, but however, it seems that Senpai also has some grudge against the enemy like Arcuit does. A vampire that is reborn every time it is killed. That's Arcuit's and Senpai's enemy. Senpai, this serpent guy, what kind of guy is he? He was originally a man, but that can change depending on the body he reincarnates into. The troublesome part of this dead apostle is that they're all hard to find. Because he is properly reborn as a human baby, and has parents, the serpent transforms into a vampire only when he reaches the age where he can do everything at a satisfactory level. Until then, the human shows no hint of being a vampire. But once the serpent awakens, he uses the relationships he gained until that time to blend perfectly into society. I heard that the church detects the serpent's presence usually after a whole town is turned into the dead. I see. For example, if this serpent guy reincarnated in me, he would live as Shiki even after he became the serpent. Unless he makes a big mistake, he would be free to suck blood without people realizing it. That is scary. Of course those around him are in danger too, but that human whom he reincarnated into, he would just disappear after maturing, right? One moment the person is living normally, and the next moment he suddenly turns into the serpent. That's very frightening. Yes, but it isn't like the two people sharing one body. The human baby is still the serpent. Depending on its environment, it's either a good or a bad person. But even that disappears the instant the serpent awakens. To sum it up, once the serpent dies, he's reborn into the next body, and once the body gains intelligence, it gains the previous life itself and becomes a vampire. That's strange. Even if he did reincarnate, that baby is still human. So even if it does gain the sense self of a previous life, the body shouldn't turn into a vampire, right? Reincarnation isn't the transmitting of personality, it is the transmission of a soul. So the personality differs every time depending on their families and upbringings. But the soul itself does not change. Once bitten by a true ancestor, not only is the body forever soiled, but the soul as well. What changes the body is the soul. The serpent transmits all his information into called its soul, so when the serpent awakens, the body becomes one of a vampire, but... Yeah, but... As you said, just that it is 2 weeks, so he selects his next host while he is alive. The family he is born into must meet 2 conditions. The first thing being one of wealth. Being born into a family of high social standing, property, and money makes it easier to make the whole town into vampires later on. And there is another. This is the important one, but amongst normal people like us, there are also people that carry special powers. Not like magic, which is a mystic power that can be learned, but rather special abilities from birth. Such people are normally called demonic children, or psychics. Physics! Their special abilities are genetics, so they are inherited, passed on by blood. He chooses the family that have something not human in their lineages. A family with wealth and influence, and inhuman power. Those are the requirements for his host. This serpent vampire, he seems to be quite prepared. Yes, since he is the serpent, he has a very slithering intellect. There's something about this story I don't like. Tono-kun? That was just a joke, but are you listening? Yeah, it wasn't very funny. My face when the joke isn't funny. Senpai goes quiet, but I really don't feel like laughing right now. Why do I suddenly feel so down? But I understand now, that's our enemy, right, Senpai? No, Arcuit Brunsted's and my enemy. There is no need for you to worry about the serpent, Tono-kun, so please don't go with Arcuit any longer. Either I or that woman will destroy him. There is no need for you to face any danger. Danger? Look, isn't just living in the city dangerous enough? Even Arcuit is fighting to protect the city, so I can't overlook it either. No, she isn't thinking about this city. She is only after the serpent for her own reasons. Tono-kun, the dead apostles were once human. There are 2 ways for them to become vampires. Either they would have their blood sucked by the true ancestors, who were originally born as vampires, or they change their own bodies through their magical research and their quest for immortality. The serpent has his blood sucked by a true ancestor to become a dead apostle. Do you understand? The serpent was a victim of the true ancestors, a race beyond ours. Senpai stares at me. Those emotionless eyes tell me what she is going to say next. Don't tell me, that true ancestor was... Arcuit Brunstead, the royalty of the true ancestors who made her only mistake 800 years ago. She is the one who made the serpent. Ah!
We finally receive our first bit of full true ancestor information. Dead apostles have human limits, though are able to improve them due to their long lives. True ancestors, vampires who were never human, start from birth with immense power. They share a closer connection with the earth than humans, as humanity pushes against nature in its continued growth. This fight against the earth is met with a reaction, an earth's will to live and defend itself from humans, but an inability to act on its own. The result was creating something similar to humans that would not be intrinsically harmful to it.
Senpai is weird. Nature doesn't have a will of its own.
Yeah, it can't. But can it be that we just can't feel it? Nature, the earth, possesses a will. That is why it still exists and tries to stay beautiful. The problem isn't that we can't feel it. It's that the standard of what nature thinks is beautiful and the standard of what humans believe is beautiful are the same.
An existence which the world creates to sense for it. These are what we usually call spirits. They are a transcendental species existing on another plane different from the remaining spirits of animals in the present world. The true ancestors are one type of these spirits. They are born with the purpose to punish humans, so they only see humans as evil. Much as we think vampires who prey upon humans are evil, they view humans who prey upon nature as evil.
But that's funny. Then why can't they exist unless they feed on us humans, the evil existence?
Humans are only enemies to the true ancestors. As part of nature, no, as those whose power is linked to nature itself, their power has no limits. In the long history of the church, there are only a few records of fighting against the true ancestors. They gain their powers from the world itself. Therefore, in order to kill them, a conceptual weapon with the power to kill the world is needed. Of course, such a weapon does not exist. So that means their death cannot be caused by external factors. That night, she said in that hotel that if I had tried to kill her during the nighttime, these eyes would not have even been able to see her death. In other words, it means she cannot die. Do you understand, Tono-kun? Arcuit Brunstead is pursuing the serpent in order to recover her power he took away from her. It's not for the sake of any humans. I don't know why she is weakened now, but if she regains her power, she will not need your help, Tono-kun. When that happens, do you think she will let you leave safely? Of course she would. Because she doesn't have any reason to hurt me. She is a vampire. She isn't like the dead apostles who suck blood in order to prolong their own life. Look, Tono-kun, if the true ancestors didn't suck human blood, vampires would never exist in the first place. They can survive without sucking human blood, but they still do suck blood because they have the urge to do so, and make humans into an existence outside of human nature. I can't let any ordinary person like you be with her. Senpai's talk ends like that. It might be because of my dizziness, but it seems like everything she's talking about is totally unrelated to me.
Though Ciel had hoped that all this information would be enough to stress the danger, Shiki refuses to stop helping Arcuid. Though he appreciates her concerns for him, he has too much of an obligation to the people he loves and the city as a whole. Ciel still pleads with him to understand how dangerous Arcuid can be, but when she says that she's more of a monster than the dead apostles, Shiki cuts her off.
Just stop, Senpai. She isn't a monster. You shouldn't say those things when you haven't even talked to her. That is true. But she is a vampire. Please understand that. No, that's wrong. Look, Senpai, Arcuid doesn't suck blood. She told me herself, and I don't think she's lying. I don't know how these other true ancestors are, but Arcuid is different. Just her. She's definitely... Definitely what? Look, even if she isn't dangerous, it's dangerous enough for you to fight. You can't recover from injuries like she can. If you get wounded, you will die. What I can't forgive is she knows this and still lets you fight. It's like she's just seeing you as a tool, Tono-kun. Senpai screams this last part. I do that too, but it's nighttime and there are people here. And I clicked my task manager. I know. I understand she's right. But because I understand, her voice annoys me. Shut up. Tono-kun? Just shut up, senpai. Arkwood doesn't see me as a tool at all. You don't know. You don't know anything about her. You just think she's some sort of monster, so you have no right to say any of that. Please, calm down. I know I don't know very much about her, but there is the possibility that she could be deceiving you. Shut up. Weren't you the one deceiving me? Oh, crap. Why did I say that terrible thing? Senpai, I said too much, but I can't say it. Her expression looks very fragile, and it looks like it's going to break down the moment I say anything. You're right, you know. You're right now that you mention it. Senpai? Yes, that's right. I have been deceiving you, Tono-kun, so there's no reason for you to believe me. She suddenly smiles as if her previous expression never existed. There's no trace of it being faked, even though it has to be faked. I can't see anything but a true smile. I apologize for taking your time. Then I'll just disappear now. The wind rushes by, and the very instant, Ciel-senpai disappears from right before my eyes.
Shiki then goes to the classroom, but we skip to lunchtime. Arihiko drops in and asks where he's eating. Shiki is indifferent, so Arihiko says they'll eat in the classroom so that Ciel eats with them. He also says he'll go and buy bread, and though Shiki asks for anything but curry bread, he comes back with 2 things of curry bread, as well as milk that Shiki had wanted as well. Ciel didn't show up, and though Arihiko wonders if she's at the cafeteria, Shiki breaks the news that she won't be coming anymore. Shiki understands that he definitely hurt her, and that she's fully right for not wanting anything to do with him. Arihiko isn't really sure what he means by this, and though he responds to it in reference to their rivalry over her, he knows that a simple rejection would be much better than the finality of her saying she would just disappear. We skip to the end of the day, and with students leaving and the unlikeliness of Ciel being at the tea ceremony room, Shiki solemnly walks back home. Hisui greets him at the gate, but he doesn't say anything to her and heads to his room. He gets ready to meet with Arkwood after dinner, but Ciel's words are still in his head. He realizes that she was really just worried for him, but in his complicated feelings for both her and Arkwood, he said those words that he really regrets. He seems to have made a decision to support Arkwood, but he still doesn't understand these feelings. Along with these continued thoughts, he notes that he's been having a lot of headaches recently, which he attributes to removing his glasses much more than usual. But, eventually, the time for him to go is reached, and he sneaks off in the quiet of night just before 10, noting the coldness of the late October air. However, on his way, someone is waiting for him.
I make my way around the mansion wall. Past here and down the hill is the park where Arkwood is waiting. And then, I see a black figure leaning on the mansion wall. A woman, clothed in black, stands not to block my way, but just to watch me go by. Where are you going this late at night? Senpai doesn't even look at my face as she says this without the slightest inflection in her voice. Oh, I guess I should have said it flatter. Senpai. I freeze dead in my tracks. I can't look at her face either. I feel uneasy about what happened this morning, so I can't bring myself to directly look at her. Even after I said that, you're still going to see her, Tono-kun. It can't be helped. I can't leave her alone, and I can't ignore the vampire in this city either. I see. You've got a point there. She closes her mouth. I pass her figure on the wall. Sorry, Senpai. About a lot of things. Please don't worry. You weren't mistaken. I hear her voice behind me. It doesn't seem like she intends to stop me from seeing Arkwood after all. I guess Senpai has completely given up on me. Well then, I'll be going. Yes, please do as you like, Tono-kun. I can still only hear her voice. Yet I walk away from the mansion without even turning around.
Shiki continues his trek to the park, but Ciel follows behind him, her boots making a strong tapping noise as she does so.
This isn't any good. If I just ignore her like this, we'll reach the park soon. I should just go out and say it. I turn around. Hey, Senpai. Yes? Is your house this way? No, it's in the complete opposite direction. You went there once, Tono-kun, did you forget already? No, I remember. I just didn't have that much confidence in my memory. You should, because my house is that way. Oh, that's right, I say with a smile. Yes, it is, she says, returning my smile. Well then, I'm going this way. Yes, please do as you wish, Toto-kun. Still smiling, she seems to be seeing me off. But, for some reason, I have an incredibly bad feeling about this. I suck in a deep breath. What's wrong? Aren't you going? Senpai asks. In that instant, I dash down the street. Gotta go fast. I start to pant heavily. This far. Running full strength this far. She couldn't have followed me. Tono-kun, going wild like that is dangerous, you know. A hand pats my shoulder from behind. Ugh! I instinctively jump back. Senpai stands behind me as if it was perfectly natural to do so. Why are you following me, Senpai? Well, I feel uneasy leaving you by yourself. She speaks very matter-of-factly. I don't even know how to respond. I don't even know, but I should say it bluntly or say it calmly. I feel like if I say it bluntly, I'm just gonna continue making her mad and she'll just still do it. But if I say it calmly, I mean, she probably won't either, but I prefer to say it calmly. Wait a minute. Senpai, didn't you say I can do as I wish? Yes, please do as you wish, Tono-kun. Senpai nods and smiles. Good, I wasn't just imagining it. Then, this is goodbye. You shouldn't be following me anymore. Huh? I'm not really following you or anything. Senpai, I simply have something to do in the park. I don't know where you are going, Tono-kun, but if you're not going to the park, then this is where we say goodbye. I see. Certainly, I don't really have the right to say anything about that. I don't have the right, but... Look, just don't go. Arkwood is in the park. You know how she detests you, right? So I can't let the two of you meet. Oh? Are you worried about me? Of course, I don't want to see the two of you fight. I'm begging you, please just go back. Oh, I see. You're not worried about me, but you're worried about her, right? Looking off into the distance, she completely ignores what I say. For some reason, it seems she's doing all this intentionally because she enjoys teasing me. Senpai, don't tell me. You're still carrying a grudge from this morning. She just smiles and doesn't say anything. She's angry. That face is unmistakably carrying a grudge. I get it. Everything this morning was completely my fault. I'm sorry. So, if you tell me to go back because of that, I'll beat you down, Tono-kun. Huh? Tono-kun, we're still fighting right now. It seems I'm still angry, so it isn't easy to just talk calmly. Senpai, if you went back, we could make up, but I know that's impossible. So this conversation is meaningless. There is no need for you to apologize. I'm not concerned with what happened this morning. She looks at me with those eyes devoid of any emotion. My duty is to hunt down vampires. Anything else is trivial. Senpai walks into the park. Hey, Senpai! She crosses through the park. As expected, she's heading right towards where Arkwood is waiting. Wait a minute. Why are you so angry, Senpai? I'm not angry. How about yourself? If you come with me, won't she misunderstand things? Misunderstand? Misunderstand what? Don't you like her? Then I don't think you should be with me, someone who is her enemy. What? It's not like I like her. I can't say for sure, though. I don't know for sure what I truly feel, but I'm sure I'm attracted to her. You really can't lie even to yourself, can you? I think you are far too honest. For a brief instant, her mask reveals a sigh. But it really is better if we separate here. We are no longer friends, and if Arkwood were to see us... Huh? What would happen, CL? We both turn towards the voice behind us. There we see Arkwood, who seems to be in a particularly bad mood. Oh, she's pissed. How surprising. I came here because I heard Shiki's voice, and I find you here. Didn't we already share information yesterday? I don't believe you have anything to do with me anymore. Yes, I don't have anything to do with you anymore. I was just pointing things out to him. Oh, really? If you intended on stealing my partner. That sounds good, too. I still owe you from that one injury you gave me. The situation is critical between the two of them. As the one standing between them, I just can't watch. Looking at this problem, our relative locations are Senpai, then me, then Arkwood. And if the two of them fight, I would be right in the middle of it. You two, why are you glaring at each other? Your goal is the same, so calm down and... Be quiet, Shiki. Please, be quiet, Tono-kun. I failed. I tried to talk to them, but it doesn't seem to have worked. Fine. Shiki seems to care for you, so I'll let you go. I won't attack you, so just disappear. That's surprising. Isn't he more important to you? I didn't think that Arkwood Brunstad could be concerned with anything other than killing vampires. For you, controlling humans comes easily. It would be better for you just to make him your servant if you wanted help, Arkwood. But why haven't you done that already? Don't joke about such things. Shiki's my partner. Even if I don't do that, he still says he will help me. Arkwood looks away uneasily. That murderous intent seems to have disappeared. Arkwood, don't tell me you really want to suck his blood. Cling. From Senpai's direction, I hear the sound of solid metal. I see. I was surprised you were interested in humans, but that does not really matter. If you desire the blood of humans, then there's one thing to do. Cling. The sound springs forth from her hands. Numerous swords, like long nails, are there. Hey, Senpai. Tono-kun, please back away. Just now I have confirmed that she truly is a vampire. Even if she is a true ancestor that cooperates with the church, once she desires blood, she becomes our enemy. Before any victims appear, I will terminate her here. You really do speak nonsense when people do not answer you, Ciel. Very well, if you want to die, then I will grant you your wish and kill you. It's not often I get to kill the same person twice. Her eyes flare with the intent to kill. Senpai receives Arkwood's stare in her fighting stance, swords at the ready. Freezing. The air feels like it's freezing and I can hardly breathe. This isn't good. They really will kill each other like this. Wait, you two, please. I said calm down. Ignoring the tension in the air, I yell out. For an instant, they both stop. After that, the sound of 2 feet kicking the earth. My shout must have triggered the start. The white and black figures crash into each other as if there were 2 magnets of opposite polarity.
The fight is too fast for Shiki to see. Arkwood is the one keeping the speed up, but Ciel manages to at least continuously deflect her assault. However, this does not last, as Arkwood's immense strength eventually overpowers Ciel, with Arkwood sending her plummeting fast into the ground. She attempts to get up, but before she can even let out a pained cry, she is launched again by another of Arkwood's strikes.
She lies there, not moving. Blood flows along the park's brick pathway. Senpai. There's no response. She seems unconscious. Arkwood runs towards her, without any mercy, with terrible eyes seemingly bent on slicing Senpai's neck. I can't speak. There can be no mistake that Arkwood intends to kill her, and Senpai can't defend herself. I can't allow that. Stop it, you idiot! You stupid idiot! I frantically run towards Senpai. Arkwood suddenly stops in front of her. Shiki! Arkwood's murderous intent instantly vanishes and she returns to her original look. She seems completely taken aback that I was protecting Senpai. Why? How come you're protecting her? Didn't I say it earlier? Senpai is a very dear person to me. Even if it's you, I won't allow you to go on. I tighten the grip on the knife in my pocket and glare at Arkwood. Shiki, you... Her eyes are bathed again with hostility. Step aside and I'll forgive you this time. Now... Stop defending her and don't wield that knife against me. Her crimson eyes waver like burning candles. Her intent to kill is about to be directed towards me instead of Senpai. I gulp. My mind is warning me that it's over if I don't step aside at once. But even still, I can't. I won't pull back until you say you won't do anything to Senpai. Step aside, Shiki. No, you step aside, Arkwood. Didn't you tell me that you don't kill humans? Or was that just a lie? No, I don't kill humans, but I honor those who surpass human capacity, so I don't mind killing them as something that is my equal. Such as you or that woman right there. A step. Arkwood comes closer. I see, you're wielding that knife against me. Another step. She draws closer. I forgave you the first time, but I don't think I can forgive you the second time. In the first place, I don't think I can be hurt with your knife. Even with your mystic eyes of death perception, you shouldn't be able to see my death right now. From directly in front of me, her golden eyes enter my vision. Ah! My heart feels like it's stopped. A chill races up my spine. This crushing despair that feels like everything is bearing down on me is far greater than anything during my fight with Chaos. I can't do anything. This is what it means to fight Arquid? Oh shit. Oh no. Shiki, this is your last chance. While I can still think, get back. I don't want to lose the first person I've liked just because of that woman. The chills collect in my neck. Arquid is in the perfect position to kill me. If that arm moves, she can rip off my neck before I can use my knife. Even still, this is wrong. Why? I just don't understand, Arquid. Why are you such a horrible person only to Senpai? I know you're not the most aware of moral principles, but you're not one to speak of killing people so easily. Shiki. Arquid's hostility starts to lessen. She walks away from both of us. I see. If you support her this much, then I don't know you. Arquid. Just be careful, Shiki. That woman you are protecting, she isn't the person you think she is. What are you saying? You can be tricked to get your blood sucked by her. So long. Don't come crying back to me. Arquid walks away without even looking back. The only ones left are me and the wounded collapsed senpai.
These parting words confuse Shiki immensely. The idea of Ciel being a vampire is outrageous for a multitude of reasons, including her being a part of a group that specifically hunts down vampires. But before he continues to think about this, he goes to check on Ciel. To his shock, all the blood that covered her robes were completely gone. Ciel herself gets up like nothing happened, and responds to Shiki's immediate questioning with a question of her own.
Senpai, what's going on? Tono-kun, why did you protect me? Didn't you know she really almost killed you? Her eyes have no emotion whatsoever. With those vacant eyes, like a lifeless doll, she doesn't even hear my question. You ask why? Because you were going to die. Anyone would do the same thing in this situation. Even if it meant getting yourself killed. Tono-kun, dedication isn't throwing your life away. Giving up your life to save others isn't dedication or sacrifice. It's just self-love. Why? Why did you... Her voice is very stern. She admonishes me severely. You only did that so you would not forget it later. And you are satisfied with just that. To be blunt, it was very troublesome for me. Idealism is a fine thing, but please don't involve me in your selfish justice. What do you mean? I just didn't want you to die, senpai. Are you saying that... Are you saying that's troublesome? Are you saying it would be alright if Arquid killed you just like that? Yes. It is my life, so it has nothing to do with you. It's too miserable being allowed to live because of the mercy of a vampire. I'm pissed. Partly because she rejected me even after I protected her. But more than that, don't be ridiculous. What did you think your life is? Don't you see? If you die, it's all over. No matter what horrible, awful things you've done, if you don't keep on living, it will all have been a lie. You have to keep on living. You have to keep on living because there's nothing else. So what if you're miserable? That's far, far better than not being able to feel that at all. That's right. You're someone who tasted death 8 years ago. That's why. You can be content with such a simple way of thinking. Her eyes are completely vacant. She speaks without looking at me, like she can't even see herself. How happy you must be. I cannot say such words. She steps back as she speaks. Tono-kun, what she said before is true. Why are you even saying... Like Arquid said, I cannot be called human. Didn't you see, Tono-kun? All the blood which was spilled disappeared like it was never there. It's fine. I am a monster. I am not a vampire, but my body, it isn't like that of a normal human. Senpai looks down as she speaks. What are you saying, Senpai? Not a body like a human's.
Ciel opts to demonstrate, and slight warning for blood and cutting since we do get a visual. Skip to 4114 to avoid the image. As she cuts into a part of her neck, the red color completely consumes Shiki's mind. He internally remarks on the beauty of the blood mixed with her skin, before a drop of it splashes on him, and frees him from this temporary fascination. His immediate reaction is to run to her, but she tells him not to worry and to look at the wound again. The wound and the blood quickly vanish, brought back to before the wound was inflicted.
That's how it is. If I could have helped it, I didn't want for you to know, Tono-kun. Senpai gives a sad smile. I don't know what to say. Just like you said, Tono-kun, I was deceiving you this whole time. So it can't be helped if you get angry at me. But I can't blame her. Something like that. Even I wanted her to hide it from me forever. I wanted her to stay like the old senpai. But I do not regret what happened this morning. I was really happy when you said it was a fun time together and that you wanted to protect me if you could. Senpai. But those were really peaceful times I wanted to last forever. Farewell.
She smiles as she disappears, leaving Shiki alone in the park to lament the revelations of today. Arcuid calling Ciel a vampire, Ciel showing her healing factor before leaving. Her sadness when she showed him this is contrasted in his mind with the fun life at school they shared. The final farewell she left now feels much, much more final than the one at school, as even after that, she still checked on him later. Now, he won't ever see her again, and he hates it. He's not able to think any more aside from the impact of all this, and he slowly makes his way to the mansion. A strong headache haunts his head as he walks back, and when he gets back to his room, even with the night still troubling him, he falls quickly to his exhaustion. And with this, we have reached the end of the chapter. The uncertainty of his alliance with Arcuid and the sad farewell with Ciel has Shiki extremely distraught. With no real way to see what tomorrow holds, I will see you all next time for Chapter 8, Death.